Got my holiday mug here. We've got a cute little tree guy back there. Today we're doing my annual reflection video, looking back at the year, talking about it, talking about things to come, moving things, some book recommendations from the year. I really like these videos and it was interesting for me to look back on last year's video like this. Very interesting. I feel like it's always good to reflect back, journal, so that you can like look back and see where you were at mentally at certain times throughout the year or throughout your life. By the way, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell at all. My hair is lighter. The black dye is actually removed. I don't know if you can tell in this light at all, but I'm documenting that process for another video. I wanted to call it out in case you can see a difference. I don't know. But I wanted to thank Anisa Beauty for supporting my channel and sponsoring a portion of today's video and being just a partner throughout the year. I've loved working with them and getting to recommend these brushes to you guys because Anisa Beauty, the quality, the softness, they just have the perfect density. I'm gonna show you a few of my favorites. But right now, from the time this video goes up through the end of the month for December only, you can use the code TAYLOR to get 25% off your entire order. So whether you need to just up your brush game, replace some for yourself, or get them as gifts for people, I'll have my favorites listed down below in the description box. This is like my #1 guy. Love this brush for blending out under eye concealer. All of these brushes I'm talking about have just the perfect amount of density for me. That is like one big thing that I always look for in brushes is I don't like when they're too flimsy because I just feel like they don't apply enough product well. They're like still soft, they have some bend, they're not like hard or anything, but they just have a ton of bristles packed in and unique shapes. The angled concealer brush I can use for concealer, for cream highlight, for contour. I literally used it for all three today. Powder brush, so soft, and the shape of this just curves. See how it's angled? It like curves to the shape of your face. You can also use it for bronzer. If you like a big bronzer brush, I use it for that as well. For powder bronzer, loose powder, pressed powder, powder foundations, and then the tapered highlight brush is one that surprised me because I like using this as a blush topper, like if I have a glowy blush, or if you like a just more natural highlighted look, you don't want to look stripy. Because of the shape of this and how big it is, it just makes blending and applying a highlight on your face super effortless, but you can still get it where you want it because it's tapered. All of Anisa Beauty's brushes are vegan, cruelty-free, and made with synthetic fibers as well. I'll have Anisa Beauty linked down below, and the code TAYLOR will give you 25% off your entire order for the month of December. And just quickly at the beginning, I did want to thank you guys because your support, I truly appreciate. Some of you have been here for 10, 11 years, the whole thing, and that just blows my mind. And whenever I get comments from any of you saying how long you've been watching, I just can't believe it sometimes. I think about you all the time, really. I think about your comments, your messages that I get, that I read, and I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to do that or just watch and take time out of your day. So thank you for another year of watching me, supporting, and happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. This feels weird. I feel like I'm out of the swing of shadow and schmoozing. It has been too long. Cheers. I'm gonna put on this lip whip. This is from, well, I got it on Saks, but then I realized that it's made in Seattle. It's peppermint tinted lip whip. I have a Saks credit that you have to use up. Well, you don't have to, but you might as well. It's free money for my credit card, so I got this and something else that was on sale. It smells really good. I'm gonna mix the Glossier foundation with the Maybelline because I think this is gonna be too light right now and I want a little more coverage today, but I'm gonna have all the makeup I use listed down below in the description box. So I sat down for a couple hours the other day to really reflect for this video, but also just, you know, for myself. Think about the last year and what I'm hoping for in the new year. So we're gonna go through all of it. Last year I did 3 words, so I looked back at my last words. We'll see if I lived up to those words and then also what my words are for the next year. I have towels all over right now because as you can see, things are very white in here and I don't want to get anything on the rug or couch, so wish me luck. Okay, so last year, I feel like 2022 was just like a big year for me as far as realizations and just like personal growth. I went through that in my last year's video like this, but just in a lot of aspects of life. And when I was thinking about 2023 and what I did and just like how I feel about everything, I don't know, I just kind of felt like 2023 was a big coasting kind of year. 2022 was like the start of traveling, getting out of a relationship. Like there was just a lot of big life changes all at once on top of like going so many places, experiencing new things, on top of a lot of personal realizations and stuff. And so this year it was kind of like I was just continuing, what I was doing the year before as far as traveling. It's now been 2 years of being a digital nomad. I have a video right here. You can watch if you're curious all about that. And when I was sitting down, reflecting and thinking about how I feel like I just didn't get that much accomplished as far as like personal things this year. And it was more just like, I was just kind of traveling and getting work done, and I just truly feel like it was kind of a coasting year. And at first when I was thinking about that, I was like really frustrated with myself. So I was gonna film this video a couple days ago, and I'm glad I didn't, because I think I would have had a different mindset about it a few days ago. I do think that not every year is gonna be this year with like all these huge life changes and growth, and every year is different, and I feel like sometimes we can be hard on ourselves with I know I can, with just feeling like you're doing enough, and not even doing enough, more so just like feeling accomplished within yourself, whatever that means for you. So I started thinking about why I felt like that for this year. And I think a big thing and a big shift this year was that I just said no to a lot of things, primarily because of health stuff. Like I knew it would have just added so much additional stress to my life. In the past, I would have just like pushed through and done it. But I think I just said no to a lot of things that I knew would cause additional, like too much stress on my body, mentally, physically. But I think myself 3 years ago would have said yes to probably all of them, and then like killed myself trying to do them. I also think this last year, I feel burnt out on a lot of different levels. Don't get me wrong, like this last year, I did a lot of amazing things. I got to go to Spain with my best friend. I traveled a lot of places. But I just think I also, at the same time, was exhausted. And I am exhausted, and I'm definitely I'm just feeling a bit burnt out as far as work, as far as traveling. I'm just I'm so tired. I'm feeling tired. It's the 2-year mark and I'm tired. To come full circle, what I was trying to say was, when I think back a few years ago, just my thoughts on work and being a workaholic and just taking on all these things and doing too much and just staying so busy, versus the things I said no to now, and just recognizing when something will put me over the ledge physically and just not doing it. I would not have done that 3 years ago. You don't need to do it all. And listen, I still had a fun 2023. What year was this? Initially, I just had all this pressure because 2022, I feel was such a great year on so many levels. Not just great, but also I just improved a lot personally, I feel like. So then comparing it to this last year, I just initially felt kind of lame. That's life. There's going to be some years that are busier, that you feel like you make more growth in, that bigger life things happen, and then other years there's not. So let me know down below what kind of year you had. We need to recharge our bodies and minds to be able to do the things that you want to accomplish. And I think especially in these last few months of this year, I've definitely felt that. I'm just tired mentally, physically. I just feel like I need a bit of a reset and a break, and that's fine. And that is something that a few years ago I never did. Oh, I was totally gonna do my brows before this video. If you haven't read the book Rest, highly recommend. That is the main book that convinced me of just the importance of taking breaks and taking time to yourself and recharging, especially if you're in a job or field that is creative. So in December, I am gonna be taking a little break around the holidays. I'm kind of just playing it by ear. So this might be the last video of 2023, or there might be one more. So I'm going to North Carolina to be with my grandparents for the holidays, and I am going to be taking a little break and just enjoying family time, enjoying the slow pace of, that's one thing I really appreciate about where they live, is that it's just so mellow, and we just go on walks in the mornings. I can spend time with my grandma. I love doing this. It doesn't have any reflection on that, but no matter what job you're in, you need a break. And I haven't taken a break throughout this entire year. It is time. So let's talk about a couple game changer books from this last year. I raved about this on Instagram and also in videos, but if there's one book that I feel everyone should read, truly anyone I think should read this, is the book 4,000 Weeks. It says Time Management for Mortals on the cover, and it kind of makes it seem like it's going to be a time management book, which is interesting because I think that appeals to a lot of workaholics. And then once you start reading it, you realize that it's actually kind of the polar opposite. I'm just gonna read you the little blurb here because I feel like they sum it up better than I do. Rejecting the futile modern fixation on getting everything done. 4,000 Weeks introduces readers to tools for constructing a meaningful life by embracing finitude, showing how many of the unhelpful ways we've come to think about time aren't inescapable, unchanging truths, but choices we've made as individuals and as society, and that we could do things differently. So it's really interesting. It talks about community aspects and just societal, cultural aspects of like how we think about time and productivity, breaks, family, just embracing life and like focusing on the things that truly matter, but in a realistic way. I first read this on my Kindle, then I bought the physical copy of this book because I feel like it's one of those books that I'm going to read at least once every couple years, if not every year, because I just think it's such a good reminder of like how to live life in a meaningful way. And then the other book I highly recommend from this year is Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. Brene Brown makes some good shit, okay? But this is my favorite from her. This book is different than I was picturing. I don't know what I was picturing going into this, but I feel like there's so many gems throughout this book. I took so many notes when I was reading this book. It just makes you think about certain things in a very different way. Let me know down below your most game-changing book from the year, or a couple, because that's gonna be a real nice list of books down below for everyone. I will definitely check out some of your recommendations. I'll also link down below the books I mentioned last year, and on my Amazon storefront, I do have a book section. Anything that's linked in my Amazon store is a recommendation. It's not just like random things. These are all things that I recommend. So anything in the books section are ones that I recommend. And there's like a big mix, not just self-improvement. I want to try this laminating brow gel. So where I'm at right now, and kind of like going into this new year is, wow, this is a long bottle. I've been feeling like I'm kind of in limbo right now because, you know, I'm not living anywhere. I am ready to be living somewhere. Like I'm ready to stop the traveling for now and move somewhere. So I'm just trying to like figure it all out right now. I am 95% sure on the place, but there's this 5% where I'm like debating between one other place. Ooh, I'm curious if this holds because so far that is really lifting them up there. When I moved to Seattle, I literally visited on a weekend trip and then started applying for internships straight out of college. Got one, then a couple weeks it worked out, and then I moved. Very different than this whole process because now I've just seen so many places and I can see the pros and cons of each city I'm in. No city is perfect, no place is perfect. But I think the decision would be a lot easier if I wasn't single, because then you're just choosing the place itself versus like, is there also decent potential to potentially meet someone? That was a lot of potentials just based on, you know, the size and type of people and like different factors. I'm gonna take the Milk Sculpt Stick, but in the shade Stoked. I haven't tried this one before. I don't know if it'll be too dark. Wish me luck. This is also the Anisa contour brush, by the way. Ooh, that is a nice tone. Like that. So I think at this point I'm just choosing somewhere where in my gut I feel like it's right, and the rest will hopefully work itself out, because I can overthink this and overthink this 45,000 times, which I have. I talked more about that in this Shadow and Shamoos. Also staying in the US versus going to another country, and I guess let's talk about that in this video. So right now I do plan on staying in the US mostly because like I said, I'm tired. And moving to another country right now, like that should be something that feels exciting and that I'm like just mentally ready for, because there's a lot that you figure out when you do that. And just like learning a new language, there's a lot of, you know, adjustments just with everything when you do that. And that is something that I love and that I do want to do at some point. I just don't feel like right now I'm in the headspace to do that. I just want more of like a mellow thing right now. So it's definitely not off the table, but it's not going to be this, you know, next move. I'm actually going to take the concealer brush because you can also use it for that. I really like the tone of this. One thing that I really appreciate having a community like you guys for, and that I learned from that last video just through your comments, is that I felt like I had to have it all figured. Like I was just thinking too many steps down the line of like, well, how is this going to happen if I'm living here, or how am I going to, and at this point I'm just kind of taking your advice and letting go and just doing what feels good right now and hoping that the rest falls in place. I do feel a lot of pressure with that because I am 31 and single, and dating can be hard. And if you're in the same boat that I am and you are in your 30s and single, or 40s, 50s, whatever, I think you can just put a lot of pressure on yourself and you know, your family can, your friends can, whoever, about multiple things, about finding someone, about having kids, whatever it is, whatever stage you're at. I'm just trying to enjoy life and have faith that someone will come along the way. I'll say some days I feel totally fine about being single right now, and other days I'm just like, when is it gonna happen, you know? If you don't know Tanya Rad, her story I think about a lot and gives me a lot of hope. And I think if you're someone in a similar position, like, listen to their podcast, Scrubbing Up Becca Tanya Rad, and start from the beginning, because that's when you'll see like her single phases. But Tanya's awesome. She has like an amazing personality, super successful, very accomplished, fun, beautiful, like all the things. And she just wasn't willing to settle for anything different than what she really wanted. And she ended up meeting someone in her, I think, like mid to late 30s. I think she was like 35 or 36 or something. I could be wrong, but around there, maybe younger. Now they're getting married, and, you know, from what we can all see from the outside, I just feel like they're perfect for each other, and I'm so happy for her. That just gives me a lot of faith, because they talked a lot about her dating stories and just like struggles and losing hope sometimes with being single and wondering like when the heck that person is going to come into your life. It worked out for her, so very happy for them. I think about her a lot, a weird amount. So thank you, Tanya, if you're watching this. You're definitely probably not, but thank you for giving the single gals in their 30s hope. Also, if you're someone who ended up meeting your person in your 30s, comment down below and like share your story, how you guys met and everything, because I do think it is really nice hearing from other people in the same boat. That was the shade Work. I'm going to take the shade Perk and add a little bit more. This is like a peachy kind of tone. I just want a little more. So my 2023 words, these were the ones that I made end of 2022 thinking like these are going to be my words of the year for 2023. These were my words: connection, adventure, and balance. To be honest, I entirely forgot about these words the entire year. Like, obviously there were things that I thought about, but just reflecting on the words and seeing if I was like doing anything to achieve those words, didn't think about it one time. So I'm gonna like put those words somewhere, whether it's on my computer desktop background, like my 2024 words, or on my phone, just somewhere where, on my calendar, somewhere where I see them a lot, just to kind of reflect and think like, am I doing anything that's in alignment with those words? So adventure, I feel like, yes, there was definitely a lot of adventure. Hit that one. Connection and balance. Connection, I feel like I definitely could have been better at. I was really good with that and just like reaching out to people and doing a lot of stuff and reconnecting with people in 2022. That is a word that I'm carrying over into 2024. Balance, I don't know, because on one hand, yes, because like I said, this year was like slower. It was saying no to stuff, chill, but at the same time, to me, that's kind of like at the cost of other things that I didn't do. So I don't think that was total balance. I don't think you're ever going to be in total balance. There's just like too many things in life that we both have to do and want to do. Balance will be like different for everyone. You're never probably going to be in like perfect balance. That's interesting to think about. I'm a little scared because I'm always scared to try new powders, but I am going to try this. It's the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Translucent Loose Setting Powder in Translucent Light. They have a few different shades of this. Let's hope I don't spill this all over the place when I open this. So I'm going to tap that out. That came out fast. And then go in with my Anisa powder brush. It looks really fine. I'm going to just put this around my pores to start, which my pores don't look bad to start today. They actually look pretty good. I'm going to put this on my chin too. Actually, I'm going to do my forehead just right here because I feel like I can't totally tell. It's filling them in, but I also feel like it looks a little heavy. Could just be in combination with the foundations I have on, so I will continue to test it. But yeah, I do feel like it's looking a little cakey. I'm going to use the shade Turn It. Also going to use my concealer brush for this because it's the perfect size. Very subtle shade. I've been putting highlighter just right here. I feel like it does make a big difference. Kind of like slims your nose because it brings more attention right here. So my 2024 words are rolling over connection, intuition, and grounded. So intuition, I feel like I do have a strong intuition. I feel like whenever I follow my gut, it usually works out. So I think just like having faith in my own intuition and doing what I feel like is best with this big like life change coming up. And then the third word, grounded. I feel like grounding and grounded is an interesting word because it means so many different things to people. Grounded, I feel like, has so many different meanings. It can kind of mean like you're humble. It can kind of mean you are like mentally, physically grounded in a place. It can mean, well, let me just pull this up. Talking about grounding, it can be prioritizing your physical wellness through sleep, nutrition, and exercise, getting out in nature, taking small steps, finding support and connection, root to your purpose, loved that, and remembering everything is temporary. So those are like a few on this list that stand out to me, but when I found this article, that's why I added the word grounded, and just feeling physically, mentally grounded in a physical place. So 2024 goals, but also just things I want to highlight. I have these written down, that's why I'm looking down here. I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. I have never tried this. It has a lot of nice matte shades, but then also shimmers. And I kind of want to do something holiday-y with some of the berry tones and like darker browns. Obviously, moving, doing that stuff I just talked about. I want to find a new therapist and also start therapy again. My therapist is only certified in Washington and like a few other places. So that's one reason. But also I think sometimes like with therapists, it's so important to find one that you really like and you feel like you're getting something out of and that you connect with. And I think for a period of time, I really felt that. Like I'm so thankful that I did find her and that she did help me through a lot of stuff going on. That was truly life-changing. You can kind of hit a wall with therapy sometimes where the therapist might be just kind of repeating the same things that aren't resonating. I can't imagine the last few years without having her, but I do feel like I'm ready to switch. And it's kind of like good timing with moving and stuff anyways. Even if you don't have like a huge thing that you're working through or that you need to figure out, it's just so good to be able to have a third party to talk to. Another thing for the new year, I want to find a hobby that can be done with people because I feel like I have a lot of solo hobbies, but not really. I'm trying to think of one that's like done with other people, like whether it's getting into pickleball. I actually think I would really like pickleball because I used to play tennis. Tennis I can't currently do with my body, but pickleball I think I might be able to because it's like lighter. The next one, I want to find a personal trainer like for working out, but that has an understanding of chronic pain. That's kind of hard to find and can end up doing more damage than not. I really want to get into lifting and like going to a gym when I am in one place, but I haven't been able to do anything upper body that doesn't flare me up. So I feel like if I could find someone who gets it and could teach me some new exercises, that would be exciting. Said I was going to do this year. I did not, but breaks throughout the year. So in order to take any kind of breaks throughout the year, I basically have to ahead of time block off certain months of brand deals because usually I book brand deals sometimes a couple months, 3 months, 4 months in advance. I think I just need to sit down like right now at the start of the new year and block off certain months with brand deals so that if I want to take a break, I have the ability to, because it's not like, you know, in contract that I have a video that needs to go up. Along with that, one thing that I've been thinking about and trying to like figure out if it makes sense for a while is getting a separate work phone, but for a variety of reasons we don't need to get into. I actually don't think that would really work. But one thing I do want to do this year is get a flip phone, which is like a different number that I can give to like friends and family a couple times throughout the year. Just kind of like go off the grid for a week, like just have the flip phone, don't go on my computer, don't bring my computer, don't go on social media, and just like be able to be reached in case of emergency if need be, aka the flip phone, but not having my full phone, not checking emails, not doing any of that stuff, because I think sometimes even when you go away or you're on vacation, at least for me, like with my job being so tied to my job is social media, when I am supposed to be kind of like checked out or being, you know, like this month, like in December, I know I'm still going to be opening Instagram, I'm still going to be thinking about work, I'm still going to be thinking about YouTube. And this is kind of what happened last year actually with the December break, is that I kind of was like, maybe I should have just kept uploading because I was still thinking about work because I was doing all those things. So actually maybe I'll get a flip phone now, end of December, and just do that. Wait, did I just apply the wrong color to my lid? I just applied the dark brown on this side. It doesn't necessarily need to be going somewhere, but just like taking time throughout the year, whether it's a couple days, one day, taking time to fully not be on social media, which I think in the long run definitely helps with things like burnout, because you do have that time to reset. This is turning out way smokier than I was envisioning. So maybe in December I'll be going and buying a little flip phone. I don't even know where you do that, Walmart. My favorite time of year, I've decided, is between Christmas and New Year's. That 1 week or however many days that is, where it feels like truly the world is just kind of like on pause. Everyone's just kind of at a standstill, enjoying time off, enjoying time with family, relaxing, and I just feel like it's the best. The Christmas tree is still up. You still have snow. If you're in the snow, you still have like the holiday feelings. I love New Year's Eve. Always have. I am gonna pop the sparkling rum shade on my lid. It's like the purpley one. That's pretty. Ooh, this looks very holiday. And am I getting fallout? I don't think I'm getting any fallout. Why am I using that very far away? I'm taking a mix of shimmering pearl and the pinky shade called rose gold and putting that on my inner corner. Also very pretty. I'm gonna take this brown liner. I just smoked out the lower lash line a bit. That went over the metallics really well. Okay, just did a few things. I put lashes on, did lower lash mascara, tight lined my lashes. Where'd the actual thing go? Oh. These are one of my favorite if I want something dramatic. The Salon Perfect 692. I just cut off like the last fourth of these so that it kind of makes your eyes look more open because you don't have like the lashes closing you off right here. These are dramatic. Before you do lips, I was looking at my cheeks and I just want something a little more. I don't have a powder highlight with me. Typically I would just use a powder highlight. I don't have one somehow, but I'm gonna actually try either the lightest shade or I'm thinking shimmering pearl in here. I think this might be too shimmery to use as a highlight, but we're gonna try it because this brush, the Anisa tapered highlight brush, this thing diffuses highlight really nicely. So if I have a highlighter that's like really intense, but I don't want it to look stripy, I use this brush because it just is bigger and it just like softens things out. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, that totally works. Kind of tempted to use the rose gold shade, the like pinky one, but maybe that's pushing my luck too much. I feel like I want a little more blush too, so I'm actually gonna take a powder blush, the Bare Minerals, that peach though. One thing I like to do is go back in with your powder brush and just tap out the edges to kind of blend everything. This lip liner, this is actually a new one that I'm opening because I bought a second of this exact shade so I can have one in my purse and one in my makeup bag. This shade is everything to me because it's like slightly darker than my natural lips, but not too peachy, not too pink, it's just like a good tone. And this was $5 on Amazon last time I went to link it. I've been wearing this literally every day. Ooh, that might be pretty. It might be a little dark, but we'll see. This is like a berry kind of color it looks like. That smells amazing. It smells literally like cake batter. Whoa, this is pigmented. Ooh, nice sheen. Okay, that's beautiful. Has a really pretty sheen. It does have a strong scent though, just heads up, like, whoa. And it feels nice and thin. I'm curious how this one lasts, especially because it is like more on the pigmented side. All right, so this is the final look. My stomach is growling, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and no matter what kind of year you had, New Year's coming, baby. That's the good thing about life. They keep coming. I hope you guys are able to rest and reset and go into the new year feeling good. So like I talked about, this will either be the last video or one of the last videos, and then I will be taking a break myself. So I'm gonna have everything I used today listed down below in the description box, all the makeup, the brushes, and again, you can get 25% off Anisa Beauty for the whole month of December with the code Taylor. I love you guys, and I will see you in 2024. Bye.